Greetings, Keishlings, Keishan Prime here with another My Hero Academia power-up video. Today we're doing Toru Hagakure, aka the stealth hero Invisible Girl. And she's going to have quite the lawsuit on her hands from Disney if she ever becomes the Invisible Woman after, becoming an adult and, striking out as a pro hero. Yeah, they're not going to like that. They own that name now. But anyway, with all these power-up videos, I do an equipment, general power-up concept, the techniques or super moves they could use, and a quirk evolution segment because this is my hero. And to kick off the equipment, I have, well, the first three ideas are based around the same general production of how they come about, but their functions are different. The first is the Invisi-suit. Bask in its glory. It's made up of her hair. Just like Mirio's costume, where, they had to come up with something because regular materials wouldn't work that will allow them to use, their powers. With Mirio, he phased through his stuff. Well, she can't make her clothes invisible, so she sadly has to run around stark naked. That's a horrible thing now that it's winter. So yeah, with this full body costume, it would allow her to actually be in the cold but comfortable. So now those late night stakeouts are quite possible now. Next up is the Ghost Cape. This is more for other people. She would just wear it until, needed. But essentially, it's a cape. It's made of her hair. It's invisible. And, how both of the applications I came up for it are like this. Okay, you got this hideout. There's a hostage situation. You got Hagakure and you got Ochaku. Both of them have to infiltrate, find the hostage, get them to safety. Okay, this is how they do it. They break in. Ghost cape over Ochaku so she's no longer visible to the villains. They stealthily maneuver past them. And then, once they find the hostage, it's time to I called it Ghost Cloak. Might have been a better name, actually. But Ghost cape it over the hostage. Hagakure sneaks them out, while Ochaku holds off the villains now that she's visible, giving that plan enough time. And that's how that essentially works. Next is the Sneakers. I know, best name of 2019. But, or just Sneak Her. These are just special shoes that absorb the impact of her footsteps, muffling them, to reduce the chances of her being detected via sound. Really, the only way with these shoes that she would be detected is if you have a bat mutant type quirk user. It's like, hey guys, I'm picking up something. She's over there. Something like that. But if you combine this with another aspect that will be elaborated as we go further into this video, is the ninja techniques. They had numerous techniques of motion, of walking around quietly and everything, like the heel toe bit. That's the most common one, but there's I don't even know how many. I found at least 10 for different situations. So if she did that and applied it, she'd probably be so quiet not even that dude could find her. So there we go. Next is the Houdini sprayer. This is inspired by Harry Houdini, hence the name. It's inspired by his vanishing axe. He once made an elephant disappear, and I'm like, how did he do that? Magic is amazing, But, he's more known for the escapist, axe, but that's fine. It works. Anyway, this is a system of tubes and reservoirs that run across her body. This is concealed under her Invisi-suit, so none of it's seen. The tubes end up at the ends of her wrists, and they function in a similar way of those toy sprayers. They're like Spider-Man web shooters that spray the silly string. That eventually you within one day, I remember as a child playing with them. And like within the first day, like the 2 tubes of string that you get is already gone. So then you have to use the water reservoir one, and then you just have a squirt gun. You have an expensive squirt gun now, combined with like those like backpack sprayers that you see like lawn care people use to fight weeds and whatnot. And then you're thinking, it's like, okay, we're gathering her sweat and maybe some dead skin cells. It mixes with a liquid, and then this creates the agent. And all of this is kind of similar to like Bakugo's like sweat collection, tech that he's got for his Grenader bracers. So I thought, hey, it's something that's already doable and it's already being used in practice, so it makes perfect sense. But the main function of all of this is so that she can make an invisible spray that she can apply to other things that, like, say, the cape couldn't do. Because, it's limited in its scope of what it can cover effectively. So then the spray, you spray it on, and it would be temporary because it would still be sweat and whatnot, and that could easily be washed off, say, a rain. But like she could, like an escort mission would be real easy for like the Prime Minister of Japan. Like you just spray down the car, make sure the forecast doesn't say rain, and it's like, you're okay, Mr. PM, So then that would make like concealing items and whatnot for her, stealth operations a lot easier. And the final bit of equipment is a ninja toolkit. This, a lot of the information that I'm about to like give you comes from Gaijin Goomba, so I'll have a link down to his channel below. Check him out. He does a lot of good ninja and like Japanese culture content. It's always a good watch. The first thing is a grappling hook. Pretty simple. For scaling walls to infiltrate, or it also acts as an impromptu restraining tool because ninjas did use like chain sickles. I forget their Japanese name. It would like, it had a sickle on one side, and then you would get the chain and you could either disarm an opponent, or you would use them to, it's like, get over here, like Scorpion, and then they would, with the sickle, ending them. She wouldn't do that, of course. She would either just wrap them up or whatever. Then you have things like shuriken and kunai. Shuriken are actually not originally used for weaponry. That kind of was a thing that they were more impromptu as well. But they're like for distractions and whatnot. And they came in a variety of shapes. I won't have a clue what I'd make hers look like. But, so yeah, she could do that. And then the kunai, which were also not how we see them in popular culture either. Naruto lied to us, people. They were used as a digging and prying tool, primarily. So that's kind of cool, actually. I mean, who would have ever thought? But, then you have, like, caltrops. They, to slow down an opponent, you throw them on the ground. And, like, all of these tools would be even more effective when she uses the Houdini sprayer. So then now they're invisible. It's like, she's just going to hit me in the head with her fist. And it's like, no, there's a blade there. You just don't see it. Or, like she's throwing the grappling hook and it's like, wrapping around them. They won't know. Like she could be running around them because she's completely invisible. And they would be like, why are we getting tied up? What's going on? And then she's just going, tee hee 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 all the time. Or do you imagine what being aimed at by invisible shuriken? That's dangerous as hell. Other things in this toolkit would be a lockpicking set. Got to get into those, enemy bases and whatnot. Got to save the people. But you got to get to them first. And smoke bombs. This would be used in like the the ghost cape, the ghost cape scenario that I said, where like Ochaku would throw over the cape onto the hostage so that they could flee. Well, this would allow for setup for should the cape or the sprayer be used on people and it's starting to wear off, or the cape has to be exchanged, and then you throw a smoke bomb, and then it's easier to facilitate that being unseen, and it just acts as a distraction overall. Next up is the technique and power-up segments. The first one is a more broad thing of ninjutsu. Hagakure could really benefit from it. I mean, she's already she's known as the stealth hero, for God's sakes. So, and what are ninjas good at? Stealth. It's kind of most of their deal. Do the job unseen and unheard, you know? So, like, if she applies their fighting techniques, like what I said with the disarming, with the grappling hook kind of thing, she's easy to infiltrate. I mean, the tactics that she uses to hide or what normal ninjas took to hide, she just does naturally. So she's already got that going for her. Espionage, in the modern era, she would be really good at it. She could sneak in, hack a system, if she becomes a hacker, of course. You know, like start downloading that stuff onto a USB drive. She's good to go. Get out of there. No one really hardly saw her. They might see the chair spinning as she's running away. And then she'd be good at distractions, because like the tee-hee thing, which I'll expand on later, like she could like freak people out, because like, where's that coming from? You know, she could do that. The next technique is phantom voice. Okay, because she's invisible, if she learned how to throw her voice like a ventriloquist, she could freak people out to no end. Like, just her, like, running around, going, tee, and it's like, what's going on? Huh? You know, that'd freak me out. It'd be like a ghost. And then it would be scary. It's like, they'd be like, oh God, I can't get away. I'm never getting away. No. It's like, there's nowhere to go. So, yeah, there's that. And then the final thing is the quirk evolution segment. This is all brought to you by One Piece inspiration of the Suki Suki no Mi, which is the invisibility fruit. There's been 2 users of the fruit thus far. Absalom and I always get his name wrong. Shiru. Excuse me. And Shiru hasn't really had the fruit that long, so can't really adapt much from him. But what I can do is applying what we know of Absalom's use of the fruit, like, you know, full body invisibility. She already does that, so that one's out of question. But like when he would touch things, and then they would become invisible. Okay, if her quirk evolved and she could do like remote, even if it's temporary, she could like make things invisible that she touches, or remotely, you know, like, okay, I want that chair across the room to go invisible. That could work. And then to further expand upon this concept, like the awakening variant that's been theorized for a little bit. I think Tekken 101 was really the first person I saw talking about it after Shiru was confirmed to have the fruit. Where he described a scenario of like Shiru's like in the woods, and like all of a sudden like the whole ground and everything starts disappearing, and then that, because awakening seems to affect the environment, not just the user, kind of thing. So that would work. So I could definitely see her like up, you know, stay on a 10-story building, and like she's just messing with the person, and it's like she's just doing the tee-hee, tee-hee, tee-hee bit, and like parts of the room are just vanishing, and they're like, the chair's gone, the table's gone, my arm's gone, what's going on? And then the whole floor's gone. You see like 4 stories down or something, you know, like, because she could remotely make things invisible, you know, maybe to a certain degree. I don't know how far the range would be, but that would be scary as all hell, because it's like I'm floating, and then all of a sudden it's sucker punch. Ow, that kind of hurt. So yeah, she could do that, knock them out, and then, you know, cops come in, arrest them, no problem. But yeah, those are about all the ideas I have for Hagakure. It was one that I expanded upon quite a bit than I originally ever thought I could from a few ideas. So hey, but anyway, let me know what you thought of all of this. Any ideas that you've had about her, any power-up concepts, that kind of thing. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Here's where you can find me. Links down below. And until next time, Keishlings, roll out.